You know that feeling when you're just not operating at full capacity? Kind of stuck in a loop even when nothing is technically wrong? Well, today we're going to dive into how to move beyond that feeling. We're talking about grabbing the controls of your body's operating system and using some powerful science-backed tools to design the biology you actually want.
So let's just jump right into it with a feeling I think we all know. That sense of being stuck or just a little off. It's that nagging voice telling you you're not firing on all cylinders. And you know what? It's way more common than you'd think.
And this really is the heart of it, isn't it? It's not that you're sick or unhealthy, but there's a disconnect. Your body and mind just aren't vibing. And that leads to that all too familiar cycle of low motivation, a foggy brain, and just not feeling like you.
And this is what stuck actually looks like day to day. It's almost never one huge problem. It's usually a bunch of small habits all tangled together, staying up too late staring at a screen, waking up at different times, reaching for snacks when you're stressed. They all create this feedback loop that just drains our energy and throws our body's natural rhythm completely out of whack.
But here's the thing. Feeling this way is not some kind of personal failure. Not at all. I mean, even a top neuroscientist like Andrew Huberman has been there. He's talked about his younger self being totally lost and confused before he had that light bulb moment that he had to take command of his own life. This feeling is a signal. It's your body telling you that the underlying system needs a redesign.
So how in the world do we start that redesign? Well, it all starts with understanding the master chemical that pretty much governs our drive, our desire, and our focus, dopamine.
For the longest time, we've had dopamine all wrong. We call it the pleasure molecule, but that's not really accurate. It's not about the pleasure of having something. It's the universal currency for motivation. It's the molecule of more. It's that force that makes you get up and go after things.
So much of our modern life is a battle between two ways of dealing with dopamine. On one side, you've got chasing these huge temporary peaks from things like sugar, endless social media scrolling, or nicotine. But here's the catch. Every single one of those peaks is followed by a crash, a deep trough that leaves us feeling totally drained. The other option? To do things that sustainably raise our baseline level of motivation, which actually makes the effort itself start to feel good.
Okay, and check this out, because this is where the danger of chasing those peaks becomes crystal clear. Look at these numbers. A piece of chocolate, a nice little bump, 1.5 times your baseline. Nicotine gives you a bigger spike, 2.5 times. But then you get to something like amphetamine, which creates a massive 10-fold spike. When you do that, your natural everyday baseline just can't compete. You're left in a state of deep motivational debt.
Huberman has a great analogy for this. He says it's like a wave pool. If you keep hitting the button to create these huge artificial waves of dopamine, you are guaranteed to have a deep trough right after. And it's in that trough that your motivation for everything else just gets sucked away. It's why normal life can start to feel flat and kind of boring.
All right, so now that we get the problem, what do we actually do about it? Let's get into some incredibly powerful and, best of all, totally free tools you can use to hit the reset button and start taking back your energy and focus.
Okay, one of the biggest, quietest drains on our mental energy is something called open loops. You know what I'm talking about? All those unfinished tasks and to-do items rattling around in the back of your head. The science is fascinating here. Our brains are wired to remember incomplete things way better than completed ones, which creates this constant low-level stress. The fix sounds almost too simple, but it is so powerful. List everything, pick the one that scares you the most, put it in your calendar, and then just do it. Don't argue with yourself, just execute. When you close that loop, you get a huge amount of mental energy back.
Does this number look familiar? It should. It's the same dopamine increase you get from nicotine, but this one's free, and it comes with zero crash. This is the durable, long-lasting increase in your baseline dopamine levels you can get from cold water exposure, and the effect can last for hours.
And listen, you don't need to go full-on ice bath to get this benefit. Not at all. Just getting into some cool water, we're talking around 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 Celsius, is a really powerful way to hit the reset button. It triggers this slow, sustained release of dopamine that elevates your whole baseline, leaving you feeling calm, super focused, and alert for a huge chunk of your day.
And this stuff isn't just about how you feel on the inside. You can actually see the difference. Think about things like puffiness in your face or dark circles under your eyes. A lot of that is just simple biology. If you balance your sodium and potassium, you reduce water retention everywhere. If you support your skin health on the outside, you tackle the symptoms directly. It's all about seeing how these internal systems we're tweaking show up in real, visible ways.
So here's the key. All these tools are incredibly powerful on their own, but they work best when they're part of a bigger, intentional structure. It's really time to stop just reacting to whatever our day throws at us and to actually start designing it.
Now, this is not about creating some rigid, military-style schedule you have to follow perfectly. Not at all. The goal is to create a predictable rhythm that your body can count on. By anchoring these key events, waking up, eating, working, winding down, you're giving your biology a clear, consistent signal that helps regulate everything from your energy and focus to your sleep.
A solid morning routine is pretty much non-negotiable if you want to set the tone for your whole day. And while all these things are important, the absolute most critical one, the real heavy hitter, is getting daylight in your eyes. Viewing sunlight shortly after you wake up is the single most powerful signal you can send to your body's master clock. It's like setting the main clock in a giant factory. Once it's set, all the other little clocks throughout your body sync up to it, getting you ready for peak performance.
And this, right here, really gets to the heart of why any of this matters. Think of it this way. Your health is the foundation. We can have all the ambitious goals and creative ideas in the world, but if that foundation is shaky, there's absolutely nothing for them to stand on. Your energy, your clarity, your resilience, it all starts here.
Which brings us to our final, and honestly, our most important takeaway. It's about a fundamental shift in your mindset. From being a passive passenger just along for the ride in your own body, to becoming its active architect, its designer. So, these are the core principles for your design process. First, understand and manage your dopamine system. Raise your baseline. Don't just chase cheap peaks. Second, use those powerful, free tools like sunlight and cold exposure. Third, learn to attach your sense of reward to the effort, not just the win. And most importantly, build a consistent daily system around all of it. Your health is not random. It's the direct result of the blueprint you design and follow every single day.
Look, this isn't just about learning some cool new facts. It's an invitation to take action. Your body is the most complex, amazing piece of technology you will ever own, and you have the power to upgrade its operating system. So the question is, what's the first line of code you're going to change? What's that one small tweak you can make to your blueprint starting today?